So hello, what we'd like to show you right now is a full service of an EcoLift XL hybrid lifting station. This is the 2-pump model with 2 sewage pumps and also 2 backwater flaps. And this is a must for every service, which Kessel recommends happens 2 times per year. It's going to require somebody to get into the system. Here we have an indoor above ground one which has easy access. Outdoor underground models, you clearly have to follow your local safety procedures. But somebody needs to get down into the system to do the surface work. There's 2 automated flaps here, both with housings. These housings need to be removed. There's 2 finger clips that move into the vertical position and also automatically prop the cover out. This entire housing gets removed. You see here one of the 3 optical probes. If you clearly see water in the optical probe or moisture condensation in it, that could be a sign that the optical probe is damaged. But this is a dry optical probe. Everything is good condition here. This motor is controlling this flap. There's a clip holding this flap in place that can be removed. This backwater flap should be removed, as well as the housing. This is very easy to do without any tools. This should go through a quick visual check. Any debris should be removed. The gaskets, this is a 2K gasket, so it can't be misplaced or lost. If it is damaged or there have been rodents or rats gnawing on it, eating on it, this should be replaced. But all the gaskets should be visibly inspected and cleaned to make sure they're in proper working condition. I'll put this housing back in, as well as this flap back on. Here's the flap connector. And now we have the same thing up front. Again, the same 2 finger levers to open up and prop open this cover. Here we see the second cover, also with a second motor and also optical probe. If you have an optical probe with this little small white piece of litmus paper, not all probes have them. If you do, this should be white. If it's a different color, blue or dark colored or black, that means there's moisture inside the probe and you should consider replacing the probe. Also here we have the exact same flap and flap housing as there. I'll leave it in this case, but this should be removed and checked to make sure it's free of debris and cleaned. I'm going to put these 2 back into place now. Just to get these out of the way. Here we have the outlet backwater flap. There's a finger release clamp here. This pressure pipe is then pulled out of this fitting. This fixture is secured by 4 Torx bits that I'm going to remove right now. They're already loose. Inside here we have the non-return flap that should be checked to make sure it's there and in proper working condition. This is removal. O-ring here, of course, needs to be kept in place. And inside here, there is a backwater flap that should be visually inspected to make sure it's there and in good working condition. And this is the prop lever for that flap. This should normally be in the above vertical position during normal operation. If you need to prop the flap open to drain any wastewater out of the pressure flap with a finger or a wrench, you would move this to the horizontal position. The flap is then slightly propped up, which would allow any wastewater to drain back into the tank so you don't have wastewater flooding in your working area here. But important is when it goes back into service, this lever is in the vertical position, meaning the flap is free to seal to keep the backwater pressure pipe full of water. We're now going to remove one of the SPF pumps. This is also a must. There's 4 bolts here that need to be removed. If the pump is difficult to release, it's possible that the gasket is sort of frozen to the tank. You can take one of these bolts, put it in this fifth hole, screw it down, and it'll break the seal and prop up the pump. Also here we have a threaded connection for a carabiner hook if you have a tripod and you're pulling the pump up to the surface level and not doing it by hand. That's a UK, I think, safety requirement. But in this case, I'm just going to remove the SPF pump. We want to do a quick inspection on the impeller. This is a 6-vein cast iron impeller. The impeller should look as it does now. There should not be any wear and tear here. And again, as you see it, this is the way it should look. There can be cases where these veins or fingers are worn, and then if that's the case, or they're not existing, they've been completely eroded, then of course the impeller, which is available as a spare part, needs to be replaced. Deep down inside here is the outlet of the pump. The pressure that the pump creates pushes the wastewater through here and out of the pressure pipe. This needs to be inspected just to make sure it's fully opened. You could see some solids in there and toilet paper. That would 100% need to be removed. So definitely a visual inspection of the pressure outlet to make sure everything is free. Just gonna drop this back in here. We're going to then also remove with the 4 torque screws the air pressure switch. There's no electronic or mechanical components in here at all. We just want to make sure this is free of any type of debris, which is normally the case. If not, it needs to be cleaned. And finally is our alarm backup probe. This is the 3rd probe that monitors alarm. So if for some reason the pumps are not working or you have water levels exceeding the capability of both pumps, the water level will reach the 3rd optical probe. Then you'll have an alarm letting the user know that the system is completely full of water. Both pumps are running, but for some reason we're not being able to drain out the water. And again, here we have a clean probe with a white litmus piece of paper, meaning the probe is dry and in perfectly good operational condition. This is a twin pump system here. We just did the left side. So again, part of the service work would be the exact same work done here by removing this pump, checking this backwater flap to make sure everything is clear. And that's basically a must for any type of service on the EcoLift XL. Somebody's got to get down in the hole and do the service work that we just showed you. Thanks.